standing right next to the tracks where normally this commuter train would be going to and from Washington, D.C., all the way to New York. This particular train was headed to New York City when it derailed. It crashed in what is known as the Port Richmond neighborhood, and just to our right, there's a lot of vehicles, emergency vehicles that are all stacked up. There's also a helicopter above that is sometimes shining a light down onto the scene. We're still seeing lots of investigators who are here. We do also know the Red Cross has set up an area for family to find out information and wait to hear information not too far from here. We also know the FBI has responded in saying that, you know, they're headed to the scene, and the initial indications are that this has nothing to do with terrorism at this point. So that is the initial indication from the FBI. We know that the National Transportation Safety Board is also sending in a team that will help investigate this to try to figure out exactly what caused this train to derail. It is a violent scene. I mean, when you look at how bad these train cars are at this point in time, and you look at some of the pictures that people were sending out on Instagram and on Twitter, it is really a disturbing scene. And then we now know that at least 5 people have lost their lives in all this. We do think that there is something to do with this curve. We are seeing these investigators just go over this curve over and over and over again with flashlights, looking at the rail line there. So we're just waiting to hear more information from the mayor, from the investigators on exactly what they think may have caused this derailment. A lot of people said that it felt like the train was going fairly normally, but then it felt like it was going pretty fast. It was as it was going around this curve. Those are passengers on the train, and then they knew something was wrong. They could feel the train move in a wrong direction and start to derail. We also talked to some neighbors, John and Zane, who told us that they could hear it. It sounded like a bunch of carts slamming together and metal twisting and grinding. And that's what we were hearing from the neighbors who live not too far from this track here. This is a train that a lot of people take to commute, a train that is generally filled with a lot of folks going from D.C. into Philadelphia or New York and back. Right now, of course, the track is closed. Amtrak saying that service has been suspended for the time being. And if you look at this accident, it is going to take them quite some time to try and get, first of all, the wreckage off the tracks, and then try to figure out if there's any big damage, which there is, I think, to the tracks themselves, and try to sort that out as well. Basically, a devastating situation, and people have lost their lives here tonight, John and Zane.